Who would have thought that this game would determine who might get a New Year's 6 bowl berth? Number 22 UCF will be taking on number 17 Tulane this Saturday. And to me, guys, this is one of the more exciting and definitely one of the more underrated games of this upcoming weekend. There's a lot riding on this game. A huge American Athletic Conference game, and a game, guys, where the winner will be the front runner to make a New Year's 6 bowl as the highest ranked group of 5 conference champion. The front runner. Still got to win the conference, but they will be in the lead in that conversation. And you know, after years of Cincinnati dominance, including a Peach Bowl appearance a few years ago, including a playoff appearance last year, UCF is finally back in the mix. You know, UCF was kind of the group of 5 darling for a while. Cincinnati took over. UCF finally back in the mix, but it's Tulane. It's Tulane that's a surprise team, entering at 8-1, the best start to a season since 1998 when they went 12-0. Can Tulane keep the dream alive, or will UCF reclaim their American Athletic Conference dominance on Saturday? That is what we are here to break down today. So again, guys, welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, ready to analyze everything you need to know for this matchup between the Knights and the Tulane Green Wave. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below, including our expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the entire country over there. Guaranteed big-time winnings for one of the lowest prices in the country, a full year-long subscription. If you want to win and you want to win big, the Gridiron Expert is the place for you. Link for that, again, down in the description below. So let's break down this game, guys. Again, back in the preseason, no one had this game circled as a marquee matchup. Probably didn't have it circled as a top 25 matchup. Guaranteed no one had it circled as a potential New Year's 6 play-in game. But yeah, here we are. Top 25 in Tulane, the higher-ranked team. Again, 8-1 for the Green Wave. Best start since 1998, when, again, they went 12-0. Let's break down these personnel, guys. Let's break down the two teams here. And we'll start with the offense, and we'll start with UCF, the road team here. We know that offense is Gus Malzahn's forte. That is his strength. That's his area of expertise. And they've been pretty dang good this year, the Knights have. 35.7 points per game, averaging over 500 yards per game, including over 260 through the air and 240 on the ground. But the question coming into this game, of course, is who will be their quarterback? At the time of this filming, we are not entirely sure if it will be John Rice Plumlee, the Ole Miss transfer who has thrown for over 1,800 yards, 11 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and also leads the team with 532 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns. Or, if it's not Plumlee, it'll be Mikey Keene, who came in for Plumlee in that Cincinnati game, ended up getting them the win over Cincinnati, led the team to the victory over Memphis last week, had 219 yards, 3 touchdowns, completed over 78% of his passes in that win against the Tigers. So will it be Plumlee? Will he be back and fully healthy? Will it be Mikey Keene? Again, at the time of filming, it's kind of still up in the air. Mum's the word, no one knows. But we are right now maybe slightly leaning towards Keene. Regardless, though, whoever it is will do just fine. Both clearly have been very capable quarterbacks. Malzahn seems to be very comfortable with them. And the beauty of that, guys, is outside of the passing game, they have a lot of additional help in the ground game. If you include Plumlee, UCF has 3 players with over 500 yards on the ground, including R.J. Harvey, who had 151 rushing yards last week against Memphis, and Isaiah Bowser as well, who has over 500 yards. So they're talented guys. Over 500 yards per game. They're loaded at both the quarterback position and the skill positions as well. Tulane, let's get to the Green Wave. I'm sure that's what you're all waiting for. You know, the Green Wave are not as explosive or high-powered as UCF, but they can still put some points on you. 32.9 points per game, over 400 yards per game, 238 through the air, 180 on the ground. That's the key number there, the fact of how balanced Tulane has been this year, and they're able to beat you up front at the line of scrimmage with some bully ball. Just run it right down your throat. But obviously the key player for Tulane is their quarterback in Michael Pratt, who has thrown for over 1,800 yards, 14 touchdowns, and just 4 interceptions. He's also rushed for 250 yards and 5 touchdowns. So there's a lot of talent there. A lot of talent there. Pratt, you know, people don't look at him and say he's a dual-threat quarterback, but he has shown the capability to be a dual-threat quarterback, and he's a veteran quarterback for this Tulane team, a major reason for their success so far this season. They also have a Big Ten player, though, in Tyjae Spears, 745 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns on the year. Spears is the go-to running back, a major reason for their 180 rushing yards per game. That duo of Pratt and Spears has been so dangerous to stop, and again, will be really testing this this UCF defense on Saturday. When you take a look at UCF's defense, could they stop it? Will they be able to stop it? They're only giving up 18.8 points per game. It's not a bad mark. They're only giving up 121 rushing yards per game. Not a bad mark. Again, what's going to give there? Will Tulane continue to have their way? Will they be able to play bully ball and dominate the line of scrimmage up front against UCF? Or will UCF's defense hold strong and force Michael Pratt to win the game through the air? And let's keep in mind that Tulane really doesn't have much of a number one wide receiver. They have 7 players with over 100 reception yards. The leader, though, is Shea Wyatt, who has 383 yards on the year. So they spread the ball out a lot, but there's not that one true big-time playmaker out wide at the wide receiver corps. So what will happen in that sense if UCF takes away the ground game? But you take a look, guys, at the numbers here. 241 passing yards per game. That is what UCF's giving up. That's it. But you look at those recent games, and they've struggled. They gave up 284 passing yards to Memphis. They gave up 298 passing yards to Cincinnati. They gave up 311 passing yards to Holton Ahlers and ECU in a blowout loss to the Pirates. So in the last 3 games, UCF has struggled to shut down the pass. And you can't help but wonder if a veteran quarterback like Michael Pratt is going to be able to take advantage of that, pass, and eventually that's going to set up the run for a guy like Spears. UCF does need to get after Pratt, though. Tulane has given up 20 sacks this year. UCF has 18 on the year. Pressure on the quarterback, forcing Tulane into second, third, and long situations will be key in this one. To me, the offense not nearly as explosive as UCF, enough to be able to consistently pick up first downs when they are put behind the chains. You look at Tulane's defense, guys, that's the strength. A major reason why Tulane's 8-1, a major reason why they're in this position, a major reason why they've been phenomenal against the spread is because of their defense. The Green Wave guys giving up to 16.9 points per game, just 180 passing yards per game, just 127 on the ground. So UCF and Tulane, very similar numbers when it comes to stopping the run. And keep in mind, UCF is averaging over 240 rushing yards per game. So 2 very strong running teams here. Could come down to which quarterback's going to make the most plays in the end if the defenses hold firm. But you look at the numbers again. Tulane, the most points they've allowed all year. Most points they've allowed all year was 31 to USF. 31 to South Florida. They only have 14 sacks, so you can go ahead and write off a pass rush for Tulane. One of the worst pass rushes in the country. They're not going to get much pressure on Keene or Plumlee, whoever it is. But they do have 13 turnovers. They have forced 13 turnovers. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. They can stay ahead in the turnover margin. They can force 1 or 2 for UCF. I believe that Tulane will be able to get points off of those. Again, they're not going to pass rush. They're not going to get it. Stopping the run and making UCF one-dimensional is going to be the key. And again, they have more than capable quarterback in Plumlee, who's dual threat. They have more than capable quarterback in Mikey Keene, who's extremely accurate. But the key for both defenses here is to limit the balance, is to make both offenses one-dimensional. The question is which defense will be able to do that on Saturday. Ultimately, guys, the defense that's going to be able to do that is Tulane's. It's the home team. I am riding the green wave. It is going to be crashing down on UCF this Saturday. I love this Tulane team. I love what Willie Fritz has done with this program. I love what Michael Pratt has been able to do, and I love this defense. Tulane has been phenomenal this year, guys. They have been absolutely phenomenal. This is going to go down as one of the biggest games and most important games in program history for Tulane. Top 25 matchup, knowing that if you can win this game, you are sitting alone atop of the American standings, and that if you can just win just a few more, that doesn't include a conference championship, which they would get to host if they can stay on top, and they will be going to a New Year's Six bowl game. And again, who would have thought that back in the preseason? Who would have thought the Green Wave would be doing that? Especially after the last few years they've had. So I love Tulane in this spot. I do not see them allowing this game to be slipping away from them at home. I don't see them laying an egg at home. I think this crowd is going to be hyped. I think the team is going to be hyped. I do think it's close, but it's a Tulane defense that comes through clutch in the end, gives the Green Wave a crucial victory, and they keep those New Year's Six bowl hopes alive. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Of course, check out everything down in the description below, including our expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the entire country, guys, for one of the lowest prices in the entire country. So if you want guaranteed winnings right in your pocket, this is the place for you. Go check it out. Become a part of our GE Nation. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.